really? All 21,000 of them. All 21,000 of them.
Oh, my God.
It's a cowardly move.
Times are tough in Detroit.
Shams reporting Ben is going to come back game 4. I'm big on this, but I understand that it might not work. Broussard, how do you see this playing out?
Well, look, first of all, if the Nets lose game 3, I wouldn't bring Ben back. If they're down 3-0, the series is over. Why bring him back? All right? But if it's 2-1, as I think it will be, then, yeah, I bring him back. And Ben Simmons can add a few things. Defense, we know he can add that. Rebounding, we know he can add that. And the question is, what does he bring offensively? I still think he can do it in transition. And, you know, instincts, he's been working out, he's been playing, you know, I know it's just 4-on-4, but this is a professional basketball player who is great. I still think he should be able to push it in transition. And then here's where it can help, Nick. The Nets have had trouble. They've been having Kevin Durant, if you notice, bring up the ball in game 2. Not all the time, but a lot of the times. And while he's a great ball handler for a 7-footer, he ain't a great ball handler for a point guard. And he's been having trouble as they've put that pressure on him. And I think it wears him down a little bit, having to do it when they pressure him. Kyrie, I like him a little better off the ball. Obviously, he's got to bring it up sometimes, but he's got a 2-guard mentality. He's got a scorer's mentality. I understand why they may have him off the ball some. Ben Simmons can bring the ball up. They got Durant, Bruce Brown. Ben Simmons brings it up better than either of them. But once he makes that first pass, obviously, he's got to go to the dunker spot or you're playing 4-on-5. And I think he can do a lot of the things Bruce Brown has done. The question is, you know, he's not going to hit the 3 like Brown, like Seth, like Dragic. And their role players hitting threes was big for game 2. So I get that. But I do think he can help him a little bit if it's only, you know, bringing the ball up, getting Kyrie off of it, letting KD be off of it as well, and maybe setting them up for better shots. You know, in the 10, 15 minutes that he plays.
This was a bad idea before the series. It's an even worse idea now that we've seen part of the series. First of all, the idea that Ben Simmons is going to be ready for the intensity of what Boston has brought these first 2 games is insanity. Kevin Durant's not ready for it. Kevin Durant's been playing all year. He's one of the greatest players ever. That's first of all. Here's another reason, Wilds. Maybe if the Nets were down 0-2 because they had lost 135-130 a couple of times, and the offense was humming but they couldn't get any stops, maybe I'd listen to it. But that hadn't been the problem. Problem is Kevin Durant can't get going. The offense in the half court has been terrible. Wilds, how can anyone think that adding Ben Simmons to the team is going to help improve the biggest issue they've had, which is a non-existent half-court offense? I sat here yesterday and talked about how they're not running any plays. Well, they're not going to be able to run literally a single play if you drop in a guy who's never played a single minute with these guys. It was a bad idea before the series. They're losing now because they can't score. They scored 2 points over a 9-minute fourth quarter stretch in game 2. Like I think this would be an all-time terrible decision. I can't possibly justify it.
Okay, so I'm 100% in favor of it. I want to see Ben back. I've been rooting for Ben. We've watched his whole saga in the roller coaster of it. And I think I want to see the Ben Simmons renaissance. Broussard, I'm going to push back on you. If the Nets lose, I think there's more incentive to play Ben, and Ben will play better. And if the Nets win, I think the Celtics are going to have a hard time scheming for Ben. Like, if you're in the Celtics locker room, like, hey, and we've heard Ben Simmons is going to play. How is he going to play? Where is he going to line up? Is he going to be out there with KD and Kyrie or the second unit? I think there's so much confusion. And at this point, Ben Simmons as a known quantity has morphed into Ben Simmons the unknown quantity. I think it could throw a wrench in the Celtics' plans because they don't know what to expect. And Ben should be able to exploit that and play pretty well with a very supportive Brooklyn crowd.
Well, look, you make an interesting point. If the Nets win game 3, then you're thinking, okay, we're playing well. We beat them. We could have won both of those games in Boston. We're rolling. Do we want to disrupt things? I'd say yeah, because it may only be 10 minutes, if that you play Ben. But and I get where you're coming from. If they lose, they're down 3-0. There's no pressure on Ben. He can come in and just play. But my point is why? They're not winning 4 straight. And it's not going to have much carryover for next season to get Ben. Really? 4 I mean, look, I guess you can, if you want to argue never give up,
win 4 straight.
Throw him in there. I get that. I'm not going to push back. I'm not going to push back on that. Because if I'm down 3-0, yeah, I'm thinking we can win 4 straight. I'm telling myself that. And Ben would give you a better. I get that. I'm not going to kill it, but I don't think I'd do it necessarily if they're down 3-0 and bring him back. But you make a good point.
I would do it just to break the ice. Hey, it's medals time. Tyus Jones gives a fan a souvenir. But as you know, acts of kindness, not medal worthy. Nick, who did make the podium?
Hey, Wilds, quit trying to sneak in weird and wonderful stuff that didn't make the cut into the medals segment. You're getting a little drunk with power since Jenna's been out this week. Bronze medal. First loser to get a medal. But because I'm dripping with objectivity, 37, 18, and 5, even if you go full-blown Karl Malone on the final offensive possession, just get your cookies taken from you, I give you a bronze. Good job, Joker. He'll get that presented to him along with the MVP in some hallway somewhere when the rest of the playoffs are still going on. Silver medal, Desmond Bane. 26 points with 7 threes. Sniper Desmond Bane. He did have that layup, but the story was 7 of 15 from 3. Look at that Patrick Beverley defense. Oh, he's just stumbling around. He's just running into people, tricking y'all. Gold medal. You know what's so nice? The growing family tree, Wilds. Guess what? I'm proud to announce.
I believe it.
My large adult Slovenian son has a small American son. His name, Jalen Brunson. So I'm a grandfather. Oh, I'm so happy. 31 and 5 for Jalen Brunson as he tortures the Jazz, learning so much from his father, Luka. There is your gold as the Mavs, my pick to win the West. What, Wilds? What? He is Luka's
I wonder how
small American
the
son.
Mavericks feel about your bizarre family ties.
Hey, families come in all different shapes and sizes, buddy.
How did the Grizzlies come back from down 26? Spoiler alert, pure incompetence. We'll discuss next.